Today's Cosplay Con Talk episode is sponsored by Moco Queen Color Contacts. Don't forget to use my code Wayne for 10% off at checkout at mocoqueen.com. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. How's it, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome back to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk, where we basically discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. I'm here joined by returning guest who you may remember from the Get Into Cosplay podcast panel, Koi Cosplay. How you doing, Koi?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fairly well again. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm sure you're familiar with Get to Know Cosplayer. Basically, going to talk about how you got into cosplay, the cosplays you've done, the conventions you've gone to, and all that fun experience. First to begin, how'd you come up with your cosplay handle?
So most recent one, which is probably the one I'll keep till I stop cosplaying, is Koi Cosplay Pond. Um, that's actually the name I've chosen for myself, which is koi, coming from like koi fish and the voice actor Koi Dao, because I just really liked the name and it seemed to kind of fit myself. So I like played along with the theme of like, oh, koi fish, they live in essentially a koi pond. And that's kind of how I got my Instagram handle, which is Koi
Nice.
Cosplay Pond.
So, how long have you been cosplaying for, and what got you into the hobby itself?
I've been I started cosplaying back in 2014.
Well, so for 10 years now, so you're, as I put in the category, a cosplay veteran. You've been cosplaying for over 10 years, and you, as I say, if you've been cosplaying for 10 plus years, you've seen the change of cosplaying conventions, especially conventions.
Oh, 100%. Um, I really it kind of started to climb into my interest when were you there for like Dub Smash, that kind of like video recording that TikTok has like replaced?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually found Vega Cos on Dub Smash and I was like, "Hey, that's actually kind of cool. I want to start learning more about this." And through like doing research, I found Bucket Brown and Tion and Uptown. I was like, I kind of want to do what they're doing. So that had sparked my interest, and with the group of friends I had at that time, it was just like oh hey, we should start just dressing up as these characters from said medias. So we did.
Nice. And both Vader Cos and Bucket Brown are really good cosplayers.
Oh, 100%. I met them at KomoriCon in Portland, Oregon in 2023, and they were nothing but nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I went there last year myself. Very cool.
Yeah,
So, what's it been like cosplaying for the past 10 years?
it's been crazy. I have made so many friends and so many connections that I never thought I would ever be able to have.
It's kind of one of those unexpected things like I wasn't expecting this to happen, but it happened anyway, and I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Like in 2023 at KomoriCon, my like two best cosplay friends in the whole wide world, we were like, so what if we did a main stage event and we did the cosplay lip sync? And
Nice.
we prepped for about 3 months and then drove all the way down to Portland, Oregon and got up on stage and performed a little lip sync and ended up earning coordinator's choice for that. So that is definitely something I never thought I myself would be doing.
That's honestly pretty cool. What was the lip sync cosplays you guys did for that?
So we did the three released archons from Genshin Impact. So we did Venti, Zhongli, and the Raiden Shogun to Runaway Baby by Bruno Mars.
Genshin Impact. I'm just gonna put Genshin Impact lip sync cosplays, and yeah, I'm sure you'll know what that is when I send you the list of the cosplays.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
like it was
have.
pretty fun though, and especially if you got coordinator's choice too.
It was very fun. I was very nervous. I probably had the most stage fright out of my little group. So we had
So
we had nothing but fun.
it sounds like it. So, what was your first convention 10 years ago?
That had to be Lilac City here in Spokane Valley in 2017.
I've heard of Lilac City, and I think they just recently had their con, if I'm not mistaken.
They did. They had it this weekend, so last Saturday and Sunday.
Were you able to go?
I was not. I was unfortunately working, but I was working in downtown Spokane, so I was able to catch a glimpse of it from afar.
Nice. At least you still got a glimpse of it. So,
Mhm.
Lilac City 10 years ago. What was that like for you going to your first con? And did you cosplay as well for that con, or did you wait till
I
after?
did. I cosplayed Jade Harley from Homestuck.
Wait, who?
Jade Harley from Homestuck.
Jade Harley. All right, I'm gonna see. Continue. I'm looking them up right now.
It was since it was my first con, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I went with my group of friends at that time,
Oh,
my best friend's dad and her little brother. Yes.
okay, I'm familiar with how big Homestuck was in like the early 2010s. I've heard
Yeah.
my fair share of stories about Homestuck, especially ones involving Sharpie and a bathtub.
Probably like the most famous story.
Yeah. Yeah, have
I
yet have
am
yet to know if that have yet to know if that's true or not, but I've heard stories.
I don't know if it's true. I heard that most people used the Snazaroo body paint.
Mm.
So
But yeah, back to Lilac City 10 years ago. Did you go with family, friends?
yeah, I ended up going with um a while ago a group of friends, and then it was my best friend, her dad, and her brother.
Nice.
It
How?
was still a pretty small convention at that point, so not a whole lot of people, but it was still fairly lively for the cosplay community. And with it being a small con, one of my things, not like an ick, but just I wish that they wouldn't do it. It was no outside food or water, which I get for small cons. It's like a way for the convention center to make more money
Mm.
and for the con to make more money. But
Yeah, but who wants to go pay $12 for a hot dog
I
and
was
like
about to
$15
say,
for a drink that, you can't even get a refill on? I'm sorry, but I think some prices for conventions for food. It's not the con itself. It's the building itself. They dictate what is the price going to be for something when it's just yeah, I have my own beef with that though.
yeah, luckily with like Komori-con and Sakura-con, they don't mind at all
Oh
for
no.
food and water, which is honestly really nice.
Oh no, it comes in handy, especially if you don't have the money and then like your friend, you're not feeling well, and next thing you know, your friend brings you a cheese sandwich.
Right.
But it seemed like you enjoyed Lilac for your first time. Have you gone to any other events for Lilac since then?
I went in 2019 and then I think 2020 and maybe 2021.
I didn't know Lilac was open during COVID.
Um, I think maybe because in Washington at that time, COVID protocols weren't really that strict because
Gotcha.
we didn't have like an increase in cases until later in 2020, and that's really when they drove it home.
Yeah, I know that that sucked for a lot of people. So what was like your favorite thing about going to Lilac City back then?
It was definitely meeting a whole bunch of other cosplayers since I hadn't really been to a convention yet. I didn't have a chance to like see the atmosphere in real life. So being able to just like sit in a con space with a whole bunch of like-minded people, it honestly felt really nice and it kind of felt like home.
Nice. Again, it sounds like it seems like you enjoy it. Did you pay for your own ticket or did you have someone pay for your way in?
I did pay for my own ticket.
Nice. Do you remember what the cost was back then for it?
Oh boy. Um, I can't remember if we went both days or just one day, but I think it was like $12.
It sounds about right for small cons back then.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So while we're still on the topic of conventions, so since 2014, how many conventions have you been to, if you can remember? Like at the top of your head.
Oh my God. So there's Lilac in 2017. And then so I've been to Lilac three or four times. And then Con I went in 2019. And then we did Anime Washington for their first year.
Oh, that's right. That happened what this year, I think? Or no, last year. Was it this year?
Not 100% sure. I can't remember. My concept of
I,
time
I I know
is
I know Anime Washington is done by the same people who run Washington Summer Con
yes.
because they're also doing their gaming expo as well too.
Yes, and Anime Washington is actually coming to Spokane Valley here in September, which I'm super excited about.
Ooh, can't wait to
They
hear
are,
about that.
huh?
I said I can't wait to hear about that.
I know. I'm so excited to have another con here. And then I'm going to Con this year, next month. And then I've been to Con two times for 2023 and ooh, 2022 and 2023? No, I know I've been there two times. I think it was, yeah. And then
Nice.
I've been to SakuraCon once.
Nice. So now on to my favorite questions. This is more along the lines of advice to give. Um, so what type of advice would you want to give to someone who wants to go to their first convention, whether it's, as I call it the Disneyland and Disney World. Disneyland is more along the lines of small cons. Disney World is along the lines of big cons like Washington Summer Con, ECC, Rose City, all that. So I guess advice, might as well make it a two-part question. Advice for someone who wants to go to a small con for the first time, and advice for someone who wants to go to a big con for the first time.
Okay, so something for both of them is buddy system.
Yes.
Always always go with someone you trust. Don't leave the other person alone. This is something that we carry for our group that go to cons is like if you're heading back to a hotel room, take someone with you. If you're going out to the artist alley, take someone with you. Make sure that you have everyone's phone numbers so you have a way to get a hold of them just in case a situation happens.
No, I'm all for the convention exit buddy, as I call it. And you already answered my question about having a convention exit buddy. So, um, but yeah, advice for like small cons and big cons for first timers, or someone who's
Uh,
gone to small cons but wants to go to a big con for the first time.
so for small cons, definitely. get a map of the layout. Know where you're going. Obviously, like know where your exits are just in case of emergencies, and kind of just know like the layout of the city a little bit as well, just so you don't get lost.
Oh no. And if you're lucky, get a hotel. If you have the money, I mean, try to get a
Mhm.
hotel near the convention because you're saving so much walking and money.
Exactly. And then for bigger cons, always have your water, always have snacks. Um, just always keep like your personal items on you. Always have a friend. Know have your key card for your hotel. And
I agree on I highly agree on those. And
I was like,
also,
have your essentials.
oh yeah, and a word of advice for someone who works in hotels, make sure that you do not have your key card near your phone or wallet because there's a chance it could deactivate. And next thing you know, you go all the way up to like the highest floor of the hotel and your card does not activate. So next thing you know, you're walking in half a cosplay with your wig off, your shoes off, and you have to go all the way downstairs to get your key reactivated.
Uh, oh yeah.
Have you ever been to any big cons before aside from KomoriCon? Because I know KomoriCon's fairly big in Portland aside from Rose City.
KomoriCon and SakuraCon are both quite big conventions, and
Oh yeah.
I very much love them.
Oh, that's right, I forgot SakuraCon. Yeah, it's gonna be it's interesting to see now two big anime conventions in Washington now because you got SakuraCon and you got Anime Washington.
And then ConEcoCon is making a comeback. They're finally back at the convention center this year
Oh, nice.
after COVID. So I have a lot of friends coming up from Portland or deeper in Washington, and they're coming up and they're actually guesting at
Yeah,
KNC this year, and I'm really excited.
nice. I saw some cosplayers I follow, and then in December, somewhere in Portland is a new con called KisuCon.
KitsuCon.
Yeah, we talked to one of the coordinators at Kumo last year about it, and it's going to be a winter con in December, which right now I'm all going to say, and I'm sure you can agree on this, is if you're going to be traveling for a con, be sure to check the weather, no matter
Oh,
what, no matter if it's going
100%.
to be hot or cold, so you can dress accordingly, and also make sure you can get there safe too, because I know last year there are a lot of people couldn't make it, or early this year or last year, people couldn't make it to a con up north because the roads were icy. I can't remember the name of the con, but I know a lot of people
I
were upset.
can't either, but I remember watching like all of my friends' story, and they're like, "Please be so safe. Like the roads are super icy. It's okay if you stay home."
And I'm sure you can agree with this. If no one is forcing you to go to a con, if you can't make it to a con because of personal reasons, mental health issues, whatever, stay home. You are not, no one's asking you to go. The con is not forcing you to go.
Exactly.
I just want to point that out to anyone listening to this. You are not obligated to go to a con. You are more than okay to skip a con if you are not feeling well and you need to take care of yourself.
Because even like my friends and I really want to try to go to KisuCon, but we're just like, if we go, we're taking a plane because we are not driving.
Mm-mm,
We are
mm-mm,
not driving 4 to 6 hours just to try to make it to a con in hazardous conditions. If we're gonna
mm.
go, we're gonna fly.
No, because if I learned one thing about living here in the Pacific Northwest, the further north you go up, it's a lot colder, it's a lot rainier.
It's
It's
bad.
it's why I'm like really like have to be careful. That's why I'm taking a plane myself if I ever go up to ECC in Seattle.
Mhm.
Because I am not gonna sit on my ass for 11 hours on a bus.
Oh God.
Um, and I'm sure you can also agree with this. Make sure to budget as well for when you're going
Oh
to a
yeah.
convention.
Oh yes. Budget hardcore. You don't want to be me at Anime Washington, leaving with maybe $30 in my checking account. So
Or it reminds me of those TikToks I see recently at conventions where like the friends like, how much are you gonna spend? $100, and there Seamus says
No.
like, and it says like $0, and this says spent $200. What you spent $200 on? Just hides all this figures away like nothing.
It's just like they're mine.
That's actually a new question I want to ask because it was a question I've asked in a different series of mine. What's the most you've ever spent at a con specifically? Not like outside the con, but like on merch and stuff. Like it wasn't necessarily needed, but you wanted to anyway.
I think it had to be at SakuraCon, and I think it was upwards to $400.
If you don't mind me asking, what was it?
It was mostly just like prints, pins, charms, and then maybe like one or two standees.
I mean, you wouldn't think that it's a lot, but then you add it up and like,
To be fair, I did buy like 13 new prints, and then I also went and met the directors of Studio Orange for Trigun Stampede.
ooh, I've heard of yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff by Studio Orange. I mean that's makes sense because they're a well-known anime studio, so yeah, they're gonna be charging quite a bit.
And then it's like so many prints were purchased. I think I left that con with 13 new prints. And I was like, it was needed.
I
It was,
take it those are the prints that are on your wall behind you.
oh, I have so
Oh
many.
wow, yeah, you weren't kidding.
Fun fact, my roommate has even more. Like her
Oh,
entire wall covered to like her door.
I believe it. But yes, budgeting. Advice for someone who needs to like, would you agree on having a set budget? And I'm sure you agree that you know, wait till like the day or the third day of a con to start buying stuff because you don't want to spend all your money on one day, and next thing you know, you're just
Yeah.
wandering aimlessly around the con with like probably like $2 to your name.
So kind of what my group does is we'll do the first day a couple rounds of the artist alley and kind of like map out certain things that we want to buy. And if they're getting low, like they have low stock of something, obviously that will be the only time on the first day that we really buy something. And then the second day, after like setting aside money for gas and food, we'll come back to the artist alley,
Food
and
is
that's
very important,
food is very
and
important
energy drinks
considering
do
that.
not count as food.
I
Um, I,
mean,
it,
music
it,
convention, energy drinks count as
I
food.
mean, it does, but it's a thing I always make on this. Energy drinks do not count as food. Get like
No.
energy bars, something, chips,
Yeah.
something to
We
hold you
typically
over.
end up buying snacks to keep in the hotel room before we leave for con. So we'll buy like lunch meats, we'll do bread, we'll bring some condiments with us, we'll have chips, protein bars, and just various other snacks that we can carry with us and keep in our bags as we're going around the con.
That's a good thing. And usually, if you're lucky, like for example, in Portland, you have like Red Robin, Denny's, Burgerville, literally in walking distance of the con.
I can't tell you how many times we've stopped by Burgerville.
Oh no, I stopped at least by twice on my way up my
Breakfast, lunch,
last year.
and dinner.
I can't like say anything because I went there twice when I was up in Portland last year. Um, Next thing, traveling. Advice for those who are wanting to travel out of town for a con or out of state for a con, because I've known you've done both.
Okay, so what we typically do is the night before we all go together as a group, we pick out snacks, different drinks. So we'll buy like Gatorades, we'll get a case of water, we'll do little travel snacks, lunch meats, something that can be refrigerated in the hotel room, just so we have like a source of protein. We will fill up on gas the night before we leave, and then we all take turns paying for gas during each stop. So depending on how many people are in the car, if there's four and we end up making four stops for gas, each person will get one on the way there, and then on the way back, we'll divvy it up that way as
That's
well.
that's honestly on I think splitting gas and hotel is
Hmm.
probably the most important thing you can do because it's never fun when just one specific I mean,
Oh yeah.
I've never experienced it myself because anytime I travel with people like my sister, we're always splitting hotel and gas because let's face it,
Mhm.
shit can be expensive.
Oh, 100%. I was like, especially depending on where you stop for gas as well.
Hmm.
It's like some people might end up getting like the shorter end of the stick, maybe to con because of like the place where they stop to get gas is more expensive. And I'm like, so on the way back, we'll have you not do that gas
All
station
right,
and we'll
no.
we'll do a different one that has like a lower rate so
And
that they're not spending the most amount of money on gas.
if you're lucky enough, you'll have a rewards card with with said gas station, so you can use the money off that card to help pay for gas
Right.
and food. But yeah, but no, I agree. Budgeting even on trips is probably the best thing, and also trying to find an affordable hotel because I'm sure
Yeah, I
anytime you and
would
your friends
always
go,
say like keep an eye on the hotel blocks that open up because typically when cons pair with the hotels, they are trusted and they have good reviews and they've been having good reviews. That way you won't get stuck in a hotel that has really low reviews and you end up getting uh bed bugs or stuff like that
mhm.
or stuck with appliances that don't work.
Oh yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. Or if you're like me, you use Booking.com, you're a rewards member, so you'll usually get a discount on a hotel every so often.
Yeah, we use
Not sponsored by Booking.com, but I'm just saying it's good that if you know if you have those hotel apps and they'll usually have like if you become a member, you usually will get like discounts on a hotel room, so it or a free
yeah,
night if you're lucky.
I actually work for a hotel, so I get discounted
Same.
hotel rates as well. And then my other friend, Peachy Boo, has a ton of Marriott points that we use as well when we travel out
Ooh.
of state
So you get them
to
free
get
nights
either
too.
free rooms or discounted rooms.
No,
So
for someone who works with you know, in the hotel biz, it's good to have the friends and family discount or the employee discount too. Pending if the hotel has that option. And if they have
yeah,
the availability, because if I learned anything, going up to Portland or even, you know, soon Seattle, not every hotel is going to have the those rates to use because
yeah, it
it's
very much
booked.
depends on like the also like the hotel that you're working with is partnered with as well if they have availability and rates
Yeah.
for those other hotels in other states.
Oh yeah, no. What's the furthest you traveled for a con?
That will probably have to be Portland, Oregon.
For Kumo?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's the furthest I've ever traveled for a con so far.
Hmm.
Pardon
It's
me.
very much worth the drive because we have a ton of friends down there as
Oh yeah,
well. So
no. It's also good to know people too. So you're like you got friends that get, hey, what's the best hotel to stay at? What's the best place to eat? How much will this cost me so I don't have to, you know, so I can
right.
save money?
I was like, our friends take us out to eat all the time. I think last year we all ended up like getting sushi together because we got recommended a really nice spot. So
Ooh, fancy. Um, out of all the cons you've been to, what's been your favorite one so far? I mean, not trying to, you know, say, oh, these are the least favorite, but like for you, best experience wise.
I have to say, disregarding the little hiccup with the Oregon convention staff last year, it has to be KomoriCon.
No, you know, I mean, I feel bad when a con is short staffed though.
I know it's not the fact that they were short staffed, it's the fact that um the Oregon Convention Center wanted us all out of their convention center by 12. So a whole bunch of like late night panels
Oh
got
yeah.
cut and some of the convention center staff, so none of the convention staff, they were a little bit rude and being forceful for us to leave like the 18 plus lip sync happened last year, and it was run by Kai Uptown and Mama Samu.
Oh, I'm familiar with them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were interrupted by the convention staff telling them that they need to leave. They hadn't handed out any awards or anything, and they had to literally cut out the judges' performances, the host performances, in order to be able to do the awards. And they literally had to beg the convention center staff to let them stay and do the reward
Yeah.
award.
I mean, yeah, people need to know it's not like the con staff itself, it's the people that
Mhm.
work in like the actual building. Like it's because they have other stuff. I get it, but also at the same time, whether you're staff, volunteer staff or staff working at the convention center is always good. I get it, it's busy, it's stressful, but that doesn't mean you need to be rude. And
Yeah.
that goes both ways for staff and attendees. Because I've seen my fair share of both, but that, be mindful, be respectful on for both
Mhm.
parties, so everyone can have a good time.
It's like, so besides that hiccup last year with the staff, and Komori-con is aware of it because they got a plethora of emails because
Oh,
everyone from
I
the
saw
18 plus
I've
was talking about it.
I follow the Instagram and I see a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna repeat any of the comments, but I've like, and people got to realize this. No matter how well the convention is, no matter how popular it is, any and all conventions will have their problems.
Mhm.
It's usually has to do, miscommunication or the conventions, the people who work at the convention themselves are like, hey, this is going to change because of this or this because of that. But like, and the reason why they don't always respond right away is because they're being flooded with emails. So, imagine being on their team, seeing like upon thousands of emails trying to respond to them all.
Yeah.
And a good chunk of them don't get responded to. I'm not, again, this is no hate to anyone who works at cons. Like I've worked, I know it's like working for cons. I've seen like, the behind the scenes stuff. So I get frustrations on both parties too. But yeah, no, I'm so glad you enjoyed Komori Con though, despite the hiccups.
Yeah, I was like, Komori-con always treats us really well. We've been doing their lip syncs for the past 2 years, which has
Nice.
been really fun. We attend a lot of events, and I think this year we're planning on doing like a free run panel with me and my friends. So we've always got like a full books of what we want to do and what we want to attend,
Nice.
because it's always super fun, and it's a lot of our friends that are either hosting events or doing these panels, and we want to go and support them, or we're staying up late and we're just dancing the night away.
Nice. Um, let's see here. What are some cons you plan on going to for the remainder of 2024, and what is a dream con you would love to go to?
Ooh. So I know for 2024, I really want to try to attend KisuCon because it's really close to my birthday, and it would
Cool.
be like a little birthday con
Well,
for me.
happy early birthday then.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna try to go back down to Con. We've got a lot of plans, and then attending Con next month.
Oh, that's right. I already seen some cosplayers posting the stuff they're going to do and how some of them are going to be guests at Neko this year.
Mhm.
I'll have to travel safe though, especially if you're going to KisuCon, and also because it's also November, you got rainy weather coming soon, you got snowy weather coming like a month right
I
after. So
was like, I'm so stressed about driving
just
down there.
just just be safe. That's all I have to say. And for anyone who travels anywhere, check the weather. If you have to take a flight, take a flight. Yeah, if if you don't have any other options.
Oh, okay. My dream con has to be, why did I forget the name? The one in DC.
I think I
Oh my
I
God.
I think I know.
KatsuCon. There
Katsucon,
we go.
I've heard of Katsucon quite a bit on this channel for the past 3 years.
I really want to travel down to Katsucon. Like I think one day me and my friend were like, how we're like, God, like how much would it cost to actually go to Katsucon? And I think it came out to around $700 per person, including flight, tickets, and hotel room.
Yeah, I'm looking. Um, I don't think that the prices. Oh yeah, oh, yeah. Jeez, at door rate February 16th. Oh, this is for. Oh, they were. Oh, Katsucon already happened this year.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like I can see why though people would want to go to Katsucon because it looks like a really popular con. Yeah, it
It
already
is
happened.
super
A,
popular.
a,
Yeah,
a-
it's at the beginning of the year, essentially.
yeah, a 3-day con, February 16th through the 18th. Okay,
Hmm.
all right,
I have a whole bunch of friends who attend as well. So it just
nice.
seems like so much fun. And I would like to go at least once.
I mean, I feel like everyone has that one con they at least want to go to once, which I think is like a cool thing. I mean, yeah, it's gonna cost, but if you can go to it once, I think that's all that really matters.
Hmm.
So now on to the cosplay portion of this. Um, advice for those who are wanting to get into cosplay for the first time and that are on a budget.
Ooh, I would say familiar yourselves with like resale sites. So I use like Macari and Depop, which have been super helpful for being able to get my hands on cosplays that I don't want to spend like the full amount of money for. So with Macari and Depop, it's just a resale site. So people who get cosplays for the wrong size or they've just like fallen out of the fandom, they put their cosplays up for sale along with other items like wigs, and you can find pins and a whole bunch of other stuff on there. And they get it for a discounted rate. You're able to even negotiate the price, and then they're from most of the things that I've bought from Macari are mostly based in like California, so you get them pretty fast as well.
Nice. Oh,
I would also say go thrifting as well. That's also a really good one. I still sometimes do like not closet cosplays, but just like casual versions, which are totally acceptable. You don't need the full cosplay right away. I would say just like heading to a thrift shop and just finding something that like the character would wear. It could be like a jacket, a pair of like pants that you can paint on and DIY, or a shirt that you can kind of alter or even dye. And there's just a whole way to like modify clothing that you pick up from a thrift shop to make it look like the character would wear it.
and the best thing about cosplaying an anime character, you can wear any casual clothes as long as you have the right type of wig.
Exactly. I'm like,
Um,
you don't need to buy the full cosplay right when you want to cosplay the character.
no, it's true. A question I forgot to ask. Advice for a cosplayer going to their first con versus an attendee. Well, we already technically talked about an attendee wise, but
Mhm.
for someone who's a cosplayer going to their first con, what advice would you want to give someone who wants to cosplay at a con?
What I would do is I know when like convention season comes around, some people will start posting things on their Instagram as like the like cosplay adult. It's like if you need an adult or to get away from a situation, come find me. I very much take that to heart, and that is something I would be on the lookout for, especially like on Instagram. And if they're attending the same con that you are and you're younger and someone's being a creep or that you need to get away from a situation, most other cosplayers, if you explain the situation that's going on, they will help you. And with that being said, locate security. That is a big thing. Know where security is or where like the programming booth is. Something with con staff that would be able to help you.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree. Con staff, information booth, stuff like that will help a lot, especially if it's your first time, especially if you're at a convention or that you've never been to before.
Mhm.
Let's see here. We talked about that. So moving right along here, actually. So that's good. Um, uh, so what was it? What was it like cosplaying for the first time as the character from Homestuck?
It was actually pretty fun. I ran into another group of Homestuck cosplayers that, for the time being, I have fallen out with quite a few of them because we just don't talk anymore, or they're just not into cosplay anymore. But we were actually pretty good friends, like through that convention, and they were at the time nothing but nice, especially for like newer cosplayers like me going to their first con. They were very friendly and they were just people to hang out with and it was very nice.
Nice. Let's see here. Have you ever made any of your own stuff for cosplay before?
I have not a lot of it, but I'll do some like I'll get help from my roommate. We'll do some like alterations or typically we'll thrift items and alter them that way or just add bits and pieces or paint some stuff onto it. But I do want to like continue like learning how to sew and stuff, but I just haven't been able to have like the resources to learn to sew because I've never had anyone to teach me.
What's a piece of a cosplay you've made before?
Probably most of the stuff I'm wearing for Jade Harley, um I altered the top and sewed some buttons onto the skirt and I hand painted the symbol that was on the front.
Nice. So I was actually looking at your cosplays, and I gotta ask, what was it like having body paint for Persephone from Lore Olympus?
Okay. So, that was the first character I've ever done body paint for. And so I think it was Lilac 2022. And we were like, we should do Persephone and Hades. And it was my friend Cryptic Soda.
Which they've been on here before too. So shout out to Cryptic.
I love him. We were like, okay, we're gonna do Persephone and Hades because why not? And I had like tested out some of the body paint, but that night we had gotten maybe 4 hours of sleep. We woke up at I think 6 and didn't get to the con till around 10.
You
We
con
were
crunched.
um we didn't con crunch. We were just up late talking and we ended up between the two of us doing 4 hours of body paint and Crypt had to help me with the majority of mine. So it was like a little bit of a sensory overload, like not being able to touch very many things, and the wig gave me really bad tunnel vision.
Oh
But
yeah.
honestly, it wasn't that bad, and I can now do body paint by myself.
Nice. Advice for someone who wants to do body paint for the first time.
Ooh, I can't remember the site, but I know like Sunset Cosmetics has been doing a lot of like face paint and body paint kind of stuff. And it's been throughout my friend group. A lot of people have tried it out. They're really happy with it. The type of brush that you want to use is a brush with very dense bristles or hairs. You want something that will keep a lot of paint in the brush, but not something that will soak it up. So like sponges and stuff like that is definitely not ideal. And then like with ways to seal it using like baby powder and like hairspray as well. And if you are wearing body paint and you're like going through the artist alley, maybe just put on like a pair of gloves just in case it's not 100% transfer proof, just so you're not getting someone else's art all dirty.
Oh yeah, no. And a good alternative if you don't want to fully paint your body, there is arm socks.
Arm socks, yes.
It comes in
Don't,
handy in my opinion, especially if you don't want to fully cover your body or even like those the Zentai suits that cover for you from head to toe.
yeah, I was seeing a lot about those as well.
So that comes in handy. And I'm sure you can agree because everyone's skin reacts differently. I'm sure you agreed to do the testing on your wrist to make sure that you
Yeah,
don't
just
break out in
yeah,
hives or
also
something.
with looking at the ingredients as well that are in it, just making sure that no one's gonna have like an allergic reaction. And something with like a cosplayer who's wearing body paint, don't come up and just touch them
Mm.
because you never know if their body paint is sealed or not. And the cosplayer who's wearing the body paint doesn't want to be at blame essentially for someone walking up, hugging them, and then all of a sudden body paint's all over their stuff.
Oh no, I agree, and that actually brings me to a question here that, this is I'm sure you can agree about when it comes to like adults or little kids, they gotta be for those who are listening or watching this, cosplay does not equal consent. Always,
So
always ask. And if they say no, respect that. Because,
yeah,
this isn't Disney. Conventions aren't like fully like Disneyland where you can go up to uh Ariel and give her a hug, at a con, you actually have to ask
yes.
whether they're in partial cosplay, full cosplay, fursuit, big armor, bulky. It's always good to ask permission, you know.
Mhm.
I know little kids are a little different,
Yeah.
but still, you know, ask
The
or ask your
only
or ask your parent if they're a good parent because I've seen my fair share of parents not give a two flying.
the only interaction that I had with a little kid was while I was in Persephone, and the little girl was very sweet.
Aw.
She looked up at me and she was like, "It's a princess." And the little girl's mom was like, "You can go ask the princess if they'll take a picture with you." And I was like, "Of course I'll take a picture with you." And the little girl was just very sweet and very kind. I think as she left, she looked at me and she went, "You're really pretty," and then walked
Aw.
away.
That's adorable. I imagine that made your day.
It did. It very much did. The little girl was super kind. I was like, keep doing what you're doing, little girl.
You're gonna go
I'm like,
places.
come find me in like a couple years and we'll take another photo.
Let's see here. Answer that, I guess. Oh yeah, since I kind of brought it up, have you ever had to deal with any con crunches before?
Oh yeah. I they're only like very small projects that I take on during con crunching. Most of them is wigs, like helping my friends with their wigs.
Mm.
But for like Anime Washington, since it was like spur of the moment, there was a couple of snaps and stuff I had to replace. But one of the bigger projects that I had to help with is I was helping my friend make Link's arm.
Oh, from
Uh,
Tears of the Kingdom,
yeah, I
where
can't.
he has like Ravu's arm
Yeah,
basically.
where he has like Raru's
Oh
arm.
man, I've seen many iterations of that, and all I have to say is how.
Yeah, ours was very basic because we were struggling really bad, but we ended up getting it done at midnight the day we leave.
Oi. That's all I
Yeah,
have to say is oi.
yeah. It was real bad. It, ooh.
I imagine it was.
Me and my friend were really trying so hard to get it done, and like the stuff that we had come up with just like wasn't working, so we had to like restart and like scrap a whole bunch of things like so many times, which is the reason why it took us so long.
For anyone wondering what Raru's arm looks like, I will pull it up. Here's like a, you know,
Oh yeah.
just a lot of what did you use like an arm sock or something for like the base arm?
Yeah, we had kind of like an arm sock situation, and it was very much just made out of EVA foam with no 3D
Ooh.
bits or anything. It was very bland. We want to try to rework it and redo it again, but for our first time doing something with an arm, I'd say that we'd call ourselves proud, but not proud of it.
No, I mean, from like what I'm seeing right here, it's like you would need like a four screen arm socket. You'd have to dye one four screen, and then
It's a
get
lot of like buildable pieces, a lot of stuff that sticks out
oh
as
yeah.
well. And it's very hard, especially with like EVA foam, to get it staying in the same place as like when you're moving your arm and like trying to put the
Oh
pieces on with not being able to glue onto the arm sock when it's on someone because you don't want to hurt them.
no, 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 no. I'm
So
with you on that.
don't do that. Don't
I am with you on that. Um,
do not attempt to glue something to an arm sock while someone's arm is in it. Don't do
that's
that.
how
That is
you
bad.
that's how you burn someone. Now, before we ask about the cosplays you've done, future cosplays, like cosplays you're currently working on, and what is a dream cosplay?
I'm gonna start off with my dream cosplay because it's been in my head 4 years. It is Inuyasha.
Ooh. When he has the black hair or his white hair?
Both. I want to do both.
Ooh.
I love him so much. Because it was the very first anime that I've ever seen. Watching it when I was growing up,
Good first anime too.
the first anime. It has such a special place in my heart, and I was like, I want to cosplay him so bad, and I want to make his sword
I
because
would.
it's a must. It's a
Are,
must.
are you gonna wear like footwear or are you gonna go full on?
I'm probably gonna do like the invisible sandals. So just getting like some very thin sandals that cover like the base of my feet and then doing clear straps
That's
over.
pretty good method. Um, actually, yeah. Before we talk about your future cosplays, there's a question I always forget to ask. When it comes to footwear, whether it's a flat, boot, heel, because I'm sure you've worn flats, heels, and all that stuff. Um, advice for those, whether male, female, then they're wanting to wear like heels or boots for cosplay for the first time.
Bring backup shoes. Bring a pair of tennis shoes. Bring a pair of tennis shoes. Bring like sandals or just flats. Something that you know won't hurt your feet. Do not be ashamed that you need to change out of your 9-inch heels after like 4 hours of wearing them. Do not be ashamed. I was like, put those sandals on. Relax. Don't you're gonna hate yourself when you wake up with blisters in the morning.
Did
Do not be unhappy while you are at con. If you need to go change your footwear, do so.
and also I'm sure you can say this, break them in like a few days or a week before the cons, just so you're not wearing them and next thing you know, you got blisters on your feet. I even heard like getting like the foot bandage wraps, wearing double socks.
I
Um,
definitely did that. Yeah,
did you have to wear heels when you cosplayed as Sailor Mars?
I did.
How
I
like
did.
how long were the heels?
I'd say about like 4 inches.
So about like, I mean, it's not really good
Yeah,
comparison, but somewhere
like
around that.
relatively, yeah.
Yeah,
I accidentally bought them a couple sizes too big. So I had like 4 pairs of socks on, and they were just getting so uncomfortable after my photo shoot. I was like, I'm gonna go put my docs on. I don't want to wear heels anymore. So
well,
I'm just gonna wear
I don't blame you. Hell, I mean, I had a my sister when she was wearing, we got her a pair of what was it? We got a pair of flats. Even flats, you need to break in sometimes too.
Yeah, it's because flats don't really have much like arch support, which I know is like a killer for some people. That's why I recommend tennis shoes or sandals, something that has
Or even Uggs, for example, because it got that comfort inside.
yeah, just something that you know that when you put them on, it's not going to hurt you.
I know. Makes me realize I'm gonna have to the boots I'm getting for a Jedi cosplay of mine for July. I'm gonna have to get them ahead of time so I can break them because I've never worn boots before for a cosplay. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to do that myself. So yeah, future cosplays you're currently working on right now.
The one I'm currently working on is free run, and I'm so excited.
Who's a free run for from?
It's from the show Free Run. I can't remember the full title, but it's like fantasy D&D party feel.
I'm pulling up a picture. I know what you're talking about now. I just typed it in. Free run Beyond Journey's End, right?
Yes. So I just ordered everything for Free Run this morning, and I'm honestly so excited. I've
Is
been I've been hooked. Yeah. My
that's
friend is actually gonna help me make her staff, and
I'm
I'm really
gonna
excited.
say. I mean, it looks like the hardest parts. I mean, it looks like regular tights or leggings. You got the simple boots, but it looks like and you can easily do the ears. It looks like the wig, the outfit, and the staff would probably be like the most interesting parts.
It yeah.
It
It's
looks
like I'm very
interesting.
excited for the wig. I'm very excited for the staff because my roommate wants to cosplay Fern, and then my two other friends want to cosplay Shark and Himmel, and I'm very excited.
Oh, Himmel's the one with the blue hair, right?
Yes,
Then there's Hater or Hider, and then there's Eisen, the dwarf.
yes.
Oh, oh,
Twitter and
uh, oh, and Stark is the one with the red hair.
yes.
Okay.
And then we have Fern with
Burn
purple
the
hair.
purple. Yeah. Nice. I may have to look, see where this anime, where I can watch this. Probably like on
It is on Crunchyroll.
Crunchy, yeah, Crunchyroll and Amazon Prime. Well, you need a premium subscription. Well,
It is very good. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
yeah, no, it's
It has made me cry on multiple occasions just because I love the D&D feel. It honestly gives the feel of what happens after an old D&D party retires.
yeah. I was gonna say an elf and her friends defeat a demon king in a great war, but this war is over, and the elf must search for a new way of life.
Mhm.
It's got a 4.9 out of 5 on Crunchyroll and a 9.4 out of 10 on my anime list. Nice.
It is very good.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting anime. Huh. Yeah, I've never heard. I think I've seen people cosplay from it before, once or twice.
Mhm.
Um, is that the only one you're currently working on?
No, I have Stella from the Winx Club, which is an old 2000s
Oh,
cartoon.
I'm familiar with the Winx Club. I used to watch that as a kid growing up.
Yeah, we have almost a full Winx Club group going to KNC this year. So we're all really excited.
Nice.
And then I also am planning on continuing doing Ghetto from JJK.
Ghetto?
Hmm.
I'm looking at them right now. I'm familiar with Jujutsu Kaisen, just let me see, Ghetto is. Oh, I think I've seen you have like do have pictures of him on your Instagram.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, my unfortunate mans that I love so much.
So I know you do like a cross between male and female cosplays. What's it been like doing both?
It's been fine. I when I did want to stop getting misgendered in more feminine cosplays, I did only switch to male characters for a good couple years because I was tired of being misgendered. But now, like with my current partner and the group of friends I have, I definitely feel more comfortable cosplaying feminine characters, especially around my friends, because I know that I won't get misgendered, or I know that they'll always have my back if someone's being creepy. So it's honestly been pretty great being able to switch between the two and being a shapeshifter essentially.
And see, there's nothing wrong with females cosplaying as male characters, and there's nothing wrong with males cosplaying male characters. I've seen men cosplay as females, and it looks convincing. I've seen female cosplay as male characters, and it looks convincing. Like, the ability to cosplay both genders is really impressive.
Exactly. It's like even like gender bending cosplays as well is
Oh
totally
yeah.
acceptable because I love being able to see the creativity that comes along with it.
Oh yeah.
It's
No,
like what would this character wear or how would they wear their hair if they were more feminine? And I'm like, yes, I love that. Show me your creativity.
show me more. Um, now on to the cosplays you've done. What's that one cosplay you've not done in so long that you would like to bring back?
Oh God.
Oh,
This is a more
the
humble
the
topic.
curveball questions are coming in.
Oh no. Um, it's like I did cosplay Maharu from Danganronpa 2, and I feel like I was like I'm not very much into Danganronpa anymore, but would definitely like to take her out for another shoot because I just think it would be very fun.
You can um
Yes, the ultimate photographer is her title.
nice. What was it like cosplay? What was it like cosplaying as them when you did cosplay them?
Um, it was very fun. I made a lot of friends in the Danganronpa community, and I made just like a lot of comedy stuff with her because she's unfortunately one of the characters that ends up dying in this game.
Oh,
And
I'm familiar with Danganronpa. The video game more so. Uh,
yeah, so I would just end up making silly content about her death and stuff. So it was very much a good time.
nice. Now what's that one cosplay that I call them one and dones? Basically, it's a character that you did because you were curious about cosplaying them, a friend asked you to, or you're just like, you know what? I want to see if I like this and would cosplay them again, but like, yeah, no, I can't do that. It's just weird.
That would have to be Junko from Danganronpa.
Junko Inoshima. Yeah, I'm familiar with. I've seen about God back in 2017. I think was like a lot of Danganronpa cosplays I've seen,
Oh, oh yeah.
and it's scary to hear what like a story I heard about a cosplay friend of mine. Not gonna say names. How a little kid recognized them as Junko Inoshima.
Oh we also had an instance like that at one of our cons. They were doing a Danganronpa
What
panel,
this
and
is this like a weird experience type story?
yeah, it was just it
You can say it because then that will count as another question I'll ask later. I was gonna ask later.
was just more of an uncomfortable situation because I wasn't in the panel, so I was just watching. But my friends told me that a group of like 12 and 13-year-olds
Mm.
came up to them and was like, they're like, oh my God, it was Mew from the third game, the most vulgar character out of all like the entire character lineup.
I'm gonna look them up right now. Continue.
And the group of kids like ran over and they're like, "Oh my God, you're my favorite!" And we're just all standing there like, "How do you know? Why are you why how do you know what I am from when
Oh,
children that age should not
oh,
be
oh,
consuming media?"
um,
Yui Ruma.
I'm looking up. I can show her because it's not inappropriate. I
Mhm.
can't show that one though.
Yeah,
But that's a character. Yeah,
yes.
I can see why you would that would raise some eyebrows. I
Mhm.
mean, I get it. As kids, we all grew up watching shows we probably shouldn't have watched.
Oh yeah.
But you think, that, we know better. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, sure, I'm sure years ago, if like cons like, were common like that and we saw characters, we'd probably ask them that. But I feel like it also has to deal with the technology nowadays that everyone is having more has everyone is having quicker access to the internet, YouTube, and these all these every year there's gonna be these fandoms that draw in the younger kids when the fandom itself is not meant for kids, but
Yeah.
then you have kids asking very inappropriate question at panels, and because I've seen a high thing, I've seen that like go up recently. I'm just like, first off, why are you watching that? Two, where's your mother?
Me very much with the has been hotel
Oh,
community
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
I'm like, if you are underage and you want to cosplay from Has Been Hotel, go for
Don't.
it. Do not expect me as an adult to engage with you when you are cosplaying from this media underaged.
No,
So I was like, I
I
do not
personally
want to
like
personally engage with you because I don't want it to be viewed as wrong.
certain characters I understand, but someone like Angel Dust, Valentino, I'm like, no, you shouldn't be, or hell, even Adam is kind
So
of a gray area. And this brings me to a next question. Before we go on, continue about their cosplays. Um, do you think kids should like I get they're gonna do it no matter what, whether their parents know about it or not. But what are your thoughts on when kids want to cosplay someone from a very inappropriate source of media?
I would say try your best not to until you are at least 16. But I understand wanting to cosplay someone from adult media. But when you go to a con, okay, and you are dressed inappropriately, I hate to say this, expect to get stares, expect to be approached,
Mm,
and expect some people not to engage with you through this media. But I'm like, if you are fine with that, go for it. But if you are willingly cosplaying from mature media and are uncomfortable in those kind of situations, then don't.
it's no, I wholeheartedly agree on that. That is, yeah, one, adults probably shouldn't be hitting on you, but two, you yourself decided to cosplay a character well knowingly knowing that they are very inappropriate and shit happens
Mm-hmm.
to them in that social media. I'm not going to go any further on that, but I'm just like,
Oh yeah,
I
no.
feel like, you got to be very mindful and also your parents. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
best. This is advice for parents that if your kid asks, "Hey, can I cosplay this character?" Don't say, "Oh yeah, fine, yeah, sweetie, go ahead." Look them up before saying yes. Because if I had a kid and they said, "Oh, I want to cosplay this character," if I know who that character is without looking them up, it's like, no, hell no.
No.
And excuse my language, but I let everyone say it once. Fuck no. Everyone gets to use one F word, and this is a PG-13 series, so just like a PG-13 movie, everyone gets one F word. So back to your cosplay. So Junko was the one. So why was it weird cosplaying as Junko for you? Aside from her being a batshit crazy character.
Yeah. It was the fact that she was also like in the way that like her outfit was hyper feminized with the mini skirt and then obviously like the chest being revealed was just something that wasn't for me. Like even at this point, if I were to put it back on, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable
It would
in it
cause some
anymore.
dysmorph. It would cause some serious dysmorphia.
Oh yeah. And I'm like, I still have it just in case any one of my friends wants to use it, but I can't personally see myself wearing it any more than what I did
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
I mean, you like cosplaying female characters, just certain female characters you won't
Mhm.
cosplay just because how overly sexualized they look,
Yeah, and I'm like,
which is totally
I'm
understandable.
it's like I'm not going to bring an overly sexualized character to a con because I don't want to be approached like that. It's like if I were to cosplay her again in the safety of my own apartment, take a couple pictures and that might be it.
Wash your hands of it. I completely understand. Um, Now, what has been your all-time favorite cosplay? It is a cosplay that no matter how many times you cosplay them, you will always enjoy no matter what.
I have to say it is tied between two.
Okay.
It has to be Venti from Genshin Impact and Reki from Skate the Infinity.
I'm familiar with both because I know people who cosplay. Venti is the one with the blue hair and wears the hat, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm familiar with Venti because I've seen a lot of people and people I know cosplay as Venti from Genshin Impact. And Reiki I'm familiar with because he's my favorite character from Skate the Infinity and I'm looking forward I'm
I
looking for
love him so much.
I'm looking forward to season 2 coming out.
Oh my god,
Okay. All I
I'm
know is
excited.
I can't wait to see who they're going to introduce and also Joe is on my cosplay list, specifically the outfit he wears his diner outfit with the chef's coat and the red. Like
I love
that's the only
Joe.
version I'll do because I don't have the muscle definition and I don't want to buy one of those muscle suits because they'd be
Yeah.
very constricting and I've seen how much of a bitch those things are to take off.
Ooh, they are a pain.
I mean, I imagine have you worn the mill?
Oh, no, I have not, and I don't want to. I've heard from my friend Rue on how bad it can be, and I was like, no,
I mean, that's why I know
no.
that's why I know some cosplayers will will wear binders if they want to cosplay specific male characters, which I think is a safer alternative in a sense.
I would say trans tape is probably the safest out of all of them because binders have it's a maximum of 8 hours and
Hmm.
you need to take breaks.
Kind of like basically in a sense like wearing a bra, but not as awkward.
Yeah, it's not compressing your lungs, essentially.
It was called what trans tape? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, trans tape. It is a very good, it's used especially for like open chest binding. So characters that show a little bit more of like an open chest and you don't want your binder to be seen. Most people will go
I've heard of it now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm familiar. I can't show pictures, but yeah, I'm familiar with it now.
and
Okay, yeah, I've seen yeah, it definitely helps hide a lot in a sense.
it does.
I guess kind of advice you would want to give. Have you used it yourself, or advice you would want to give to those who may are curious about it?
There is a special type of removing oil that you need to get with it. Otherwise, trying to take the trans tape off hurts.
Like taking a band-aid off.
It was so much worse. It's so bad.
Oh,
I would say get the little, like when you look it up, get the starter kit. It should have everything that you need.
oh, it could be wrong. Well, this is the thing I found. I don't know how accurate this is. Um, yeah, this is it right here on
Yeah.
Walmart. I don't know. This is like,
That one as well, but then they also have an official website.
oh, that's good to know.
So I would always go to official websites before like Target or Amazon or anything like that, just to make sure that you're getting the right stuff and that it won't irritate your skin or cause any breakouts or anything like that.
Huh. That is some sound advice. Let's see. Talk about that. Now on to my favorite questions that I've always asked. If anyone's familiar with this show, I always ask four, I think 4 or 5 questions. Cosplay mishaps. Ever had a cosplay or a prop rip, fall, tear apart, shatter, get smashed, ruined, bent,
Yeah.
warped? Just anything that could go wrong with it did go wrong.
Yes. It's so embarrassing. But so last year at KNC, it was held in the Doubletree Hilton. And me and my roommate were as Denji and Power, and we were going to do an 18 plus lip sync. We're out, we're out in the parking garage practicing, and I practiced a little bit too hard because of 18 plus. I'm not going to disclose what I was doing.
No.
My pants ripped,
Like back or
like the back.
oh,
Yeah,
okay. You had a
like
SpongeBob
right at
ripped
the
it.
seam.
You had a SpongeBob ripped his pants moment.
And
It
since it was out in the parking garage, we had to come back in. I had my jacket tied around my waist, and I had to go to cosplay repair. I was like, "Can you please help me? I ripped my
it's never fun when I because I've even heard stories of cosplayers that after they've had their photo shoots done, like because all that bending down and all the poses, you get back up or you do something, you go too hard or something, all you hear is that, and I'm like, okay, what end, front end or back end, and how quick is how fast can I get back to my hotel room without flashing everybody?
You know, I have to say, like, one of the most awkward just things to happen at a con, but all of my friends were like, it's okay, we'll get you to cosplay repair, like it'll be fine, like they're gonna fix it up.
Help is on the way, dear.
The lady ended up double stitching it as well. And then when I went and performed, nothing happened. Thank God,
Were
'cause
you
I was
dingy
so
or were
nervous.
you dingy or power?
I was Power.
Oh, it's the one. She's the one with the red hair, right?
She has pink hair and
Oh,
red horns.
oh, I'm thinking of Makima. Never mind. I'm not familiar with Chainsaw Man. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I've seen my fair share of it. Um, so we kind of talked about. Do you have any other awkward horror type story convention stories aside from the having minors basically gush over Danganronpa characters that are appropriate? Because reminded, this is PG-13, so we can't go too full into detail. This isn't
Not
like
really. We've just had like instances of pictures being taken without our permission, but we handle those pretty well. So
like
there hasn't been a whole lot that happens to us
like
regarding that kind of stuff.
what do people expect? Like you got is either the flash you see, or and then my favorite is like, oh, I wasn't taking a picture of you, like, and then they try so hard to like you know try to cover it up. Man, sometimes
Mhm.
it's not they're not trying to take a picture of you. It's just sometimes it's just the cosplayer walking by a random cosplayer walking by, and they happen to get in the shot, which but
Yeah.
um. Let's see here. So, what's been your all-time favorite convention experience? Like to this day, it's something you will always remember because like the best thing to ever happen to you.
Okay, so it was last year down at KomoriCon. Um, Me and a whole bunch of my friends, since we are part of the what it's called the lip sync family. Um, we have a whole bunch of friends who perform, and this has to be my all-time favorite memory. So it's me and my friend Peachy Boo doing Yuri and Victor to Rewrite the Stars.
Ooh.
And we had this idea for almost a year. I immediately brought it up like right after our Archon lip sync. I was like, "Hey, I want to do this. It's like it needs to happen. And I have the perfect song, and I'm having so many thoughts." And so at that point, we have a new friend, and his name is Lay Trends. So my roommate proposes the idea of, "Hey, what if Lay and I also do a lip sync to the Raiden Shogun and Wanderer?"
Is this the said picture, said thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
I like I didn't mean to pull it up. I think that's like the fact your wig was able to stay on because I know when people do that back pose is like there's a chance of the wig falling off, but your wig must have like stayed on, just like had like the will to stay on.
I know how to make my wig stay on. I was like, don't you worry about it.
Nice.
So my roommate and our friend Lay did a lip sync as well. And then our other group in Spokane, they did a group lip sync to the Diagnosis, which is another Genshin song.
Nice.
And then our friend Danny, that lives up in Seattle, she also did a lip sync as well. We're all from the Washington area.
Nice.
So we all get backstage and we're all like freaking out, seeing each other again. We're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see you perform. All the performances go by. We're exhausted, but so excited. So they start naming off awards. The first judge's choice by Rock'em Sakura goes to our friend Danny.
Forget
And
about
we're like,
Rock'em Sakura.
oh my God, we are so excited. And then Dandy Ducky, who was last year's lip sync winner,
Oh, I know
their
Dandy Ducky.
judge's choice, their judge's choice was mine and Peachy Boo. And we were
Nice.
like, oh my God, like what's happening? And then I can't remember the other judge's name, and I feel so bad. Chose my roommate and Lay Trends to come up on stage. And
Nice.
then our coordinators had chosen our other group of friends who did their group lip sync. And it was so amazing being able to stand on a stage with a whole bunch of people that I knew. We all practiced together. We all basically watched all of these different lip syncs form. And we were like, this is crazy. We're all on a stage together. I have a photo of all of us on stage, or at least
If you can send me that photo, I would love to
I
show it.
will. I will.
Thank you.
I'll send you multiple because there's so many of us just crying and just hugging each other. I haven't set it as my computer background. We're all
Nice.
just hugging and crying because we're so excited. And it's like, it was honestly so amazing to
It
witness.
sounds like it was. It sounds like you had a really good time.
Mhm.
Um, so now that I kind of want to talk about it, real quick, advice for those who want to go up on stage to perform at a con.
It it takes a lot. It does. It takes so much willpower to be able to get up on the stage.
Oh, I imagine it does.
It's so much. And coming from someone with really bad stage fright, because even like talking about it, I get anxious. I'm like, I was like, did I actually go up and do that? Um, but
I get it.
for like lip sync specifically, you are not going to find a more compassionate and loving backstage crew. It's like everyone there has already put in so much hard work, but they're so excited to go out on that stage and perform and watch other people perform. because this is something we've created from scratch with no like prior like from seeing something. You can't just take really something that you saw and like replicate it. It's something that you make on your own. Like with cosplay contests, you have all of like your reference images, and it's like you're constantly like finding resources and stuff to use to create your cosplay, which is no hate, no hate whatsoever.
No, no, I
I'm
get
like
it.
kids and everything like that are 100% original, but this is just for like the lip sync community. Is that everyone's always so excited, we're cheering the loudest. And I remember a piece of advice that I gave my friend Lee Trends, because he also has really bad stage fright. Like moments before he goes on, I like grab him by the face and I'm like, okay, I was like, your hands are going to shake. It's like, do not focus on your hands, let them shake. If you focus too hard on your body shaking and your hands shaking, you're gonna forget your choreography. I was like, from all the way from like the back of the doors, no one's gonna be able to see your hands shake. No one's gonna be able to see it. Don't worry about it.
Some That's some pretty sound advice, and I'm sure your friend did really well.
He did. I was so proud of him.
Nice. So last but not least, before we end this, any last minute advice you want to give to those who are listening and are watching this?
Um, just remember, cons are for fun. You're there to have a fun time. Do not go in there with the intention of trying to get involved with drama. You are there to have a good time with your friends. Make sure that you eat, you are hydrated, that you have money to spend on the way home, or that you don't deplete your entire paycheck. Trust me, it is not worth it.
Because then you won't have money
Shiny
for
things,
rent.
shiny things are amazing. My inner crow very likes shiny things, but it is not worth it.
Just because it looks
Have the
shiny doesn't mean you
mentality.
need the shiny.
Exactly. Have the mentality of, ooh, I really like this thing. If I'm thinking about it by tomorrow, then I'm going to come back and buy it,
Oh yeah, and
which is
also, yeah, no, I agree. Um,
always have your friends around. Uh, do not roam the streets at night, really, in cosplay, unless you are in a big group. That is a big one because I cannot tell you how many times that we have gotten confronted on the streets of Seattle.
ugh.
Just one weekend, we have gotten catcalled. We've gotten approached by very weird people. We've gotten our photos taken up, like pictures take of us taken, and it's just not worth it. Just stick
Mm-mm.
together as a group. Be mindful of the space that you are in. The con floor is not your home. Do
No.
not leave trash. Report spills if there are one, if there is one. Take care of your other con goers as well. If you see someone having a hard time, or someone approaches you needing help, help them.
Oh yeah, and if you're lucky, you can find, you can lead them to the information booth too.
Exactly.
Or security, because cons always have the best. Well, in my experience, cons have had the best security.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think
I was like,
that's.
because I know personally, if a smaller cosplayer were to come over to me and be like, "Hey, it's like, do you mind if I just hang out with you for a second because someone over there is being really creepy?" I'm immediately going to go into parent mode. I'll be like, "No one is touching this
Full
kid."
on, full on, guard dog mode, basically.
Exactly. I was like, I'm not gonna let anybody mess with this kid. I was like, for right now, they are my kid. They're my responsibility. You are not going to touch them.
Con parents, that's me and my sister were a con parent to a first time to a cosplayer
Mhm.
who's never been to a big con before. So we were with them for a couple minutes. Eventually, they were able to like find their group. So, if the opportunity comes and it's you like someone can trust you, it shows they may not know you, but they trust you well enough to like that if that said person comes up near me or they see me with some like, you know, person, whether they physically look it or like they have that, F around and find out, they'll like go
The
away.
the aura of "Do not come near me."
The good old as I see that of the two cosplayers walking and then like them with their scary dog privileged cosplay friends.
I will become the scary dog privilege. I was like, don't tempt me. I will run at you on all fours. Almost like
I'll run at you, I'll bark at you, I'll even bite you. I'm not afraid. I've seen it work in Dragon Ball.
all right.
I think that should do it. Also real quick, would you like to drop those social medias so people can find you to stay up to date with your cosplays or find out if whatever next con you're gonna attend so they can keep an eye out for you?
Yeah, so my next con is Karaneko Con here next month. Spokane, uh Spokane, Washington. Uh my TikTok and my Instagram is Koi Cosplay Pond with an underscore between each word. On Twitter, I am Koi Does Cosplay, one word.
Nice. I think that she did. Also, again, real quick shout out to Cryptic Soda for getting a hold of you a while back for the podcast that we did with the others.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, thank you. Shout out to Cryptic Soda. Hopefully to see you all again at KomoriCon because I want to try to go back again next year because I had fun last year.
Yeah, I was
Just
like, definitely like reach out to me if you're going to KomoriCon.
oh no, I definitely will because it's a con I would definitely want to go back to. But next time
I'll I'll be with some really cool people.
I'm gonna do the smart thing by bringing some medication with me just so I don't get the con crud on the second day. I learned that lesson the hard way.
Uh, I feel you.
Oh,
Red Bull, Red Bull's my savior. I I bought so many people so many Red Bulls that week. I think half my money was spent on Red Bull.
Oh man. Anyway, again, Koi, thank you for coming on. As always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.